We are now joined by Donny Schatz, who, I mean, if you follow racing at all, you know he's been around for a long time, a master of dirt, World of Outlaws, now making your NASCAR Camping World Truck Series debut coming up at Knoxville with DGR. Welcome to NASCAR and welcome to the family here. We're going to go right into questions. Our first question for you is going to come from Bob Pockris. Go with your question, Bob.
Donny, can you explain how this came together? Were you looking for a ride for this race, or did somebody, David Gilliland or Ford, come to you?
You know, I was asked a year ago if I was interested in running a truck on dirt, and I said I would give anything a try. See, all those races it never really got any traction. It's not something that I set out to do. Once I was asked and analyzed whether it was something I was interested in, I feel like it's a great opportunity. The sticky part on whether to be able to make this all work or not is, you all know my commitment to the World of Outlaws, and it has been for 25 years. That's a pretty tough schedule to try to fit something like this in. And without this July 9th date, we wouldn't be racing. That we're not racing with the World of Outlaws, this really wouldn't be possible. Then a person's forced to choose this or that, and my commitment is, you know, fully to our partners and to Tony Stewart Racing with the sprint car. So this is just a perfect opportunity at Knoxville with David Gilliland Racing, with it's just everything. You know, a perfect fit. Obviously, we have some of our marketing partners that are coming with us, and we're have the opportunity to present a new one into the dirt world and obviously the NASCAR's world at the same time. So, you know, it's something I'm excited about. It wasn't something that I ultimately set out to do.
And when was the last time you were in a stock type vehicle?
Well, I do a little hobby racing in a dirt late model from time to time, and enjoy that. But as far as, it's been a long time since I've been in something, you know, a car this heavy or a truck this heavy. I've done a little bit of pavement stuff, pavement model racing at New Smyrna with Finish Line Racing School a long time ago, and so I have very, very limited experience in it. But I think the dirt opportunity is a huge opportunity for me to be competitive with the trucks when we get to Knoxville.
Our next question will come from Lee Spencer. Go with the question, Lee.
Thank you and good morning, and thanks for joining us, champion. You talked about being able to do this on dirt, but talk about your relationship with Knoxville Speedway, or Knoxville Raceway, sorry.
Well, thank you. Knoxville holds a near and dear spot to me. You know, as a kid growing up, and my father taking me to the Knoxville Nationals, sitting on the backstretch grandstand, you know, with 5,000 people, being able to race there is just a dream come true. And to be able to go there and be competitive there is even next level. And I, you know, was able to go there to our sport's biggest race and run second 4 or 5 times before I was ever able to win it. And once we did win it, we were able to continue down that path, and something that I've been able to get close to Steve's record on. Steve's won 12 nationals and we've won 10. So it's a place that I feel like when you walk in the gate there, you kind of feel like you're home. You feel it's a place that's very unique and tricky, but yet there's take great pride in being able to get around there. So, you know, when NASCAR's the Premier Series and NASCAR is going to go there, it's something that I'm really excited about, really look forward to. It's great to see. We're going to have Brian Brown as well, who's a Knoxville regular there as well. So it's just one of them places that it's near and dear to me. I've had some of my worst things happen in my career there, and I've had some of my best. So it's one of them places that you forever respect and have a lot of history there.
You have a home game this weekend, River City Speedway. You have, 12 wins and 26 starts at that track. How optimistic are you going to your home track this weekend?
Very optimistic. I feel like Well, obviously it's the next race in front of us, but it's my best opportunity to try to get the first win of the year for the Tony Stewart 15. We've not, I don't know that we've ever had a season where we went this far into the season without a win. For me, there's a milestone win coming. I'm stuck on 299. I have been since October, so I'd love to get past that hurdle. It's anytime I've gotten to a milestone, I've just got stuck, and I feel like I'm really stuck. So this one win will probably be one of the ultimately most important wins of my career. If I can make it happen at home, there's just nothing even that compares to that. I mean, the home state, North Dakota, has a huge presence in our sport, always has been. We have, great crowds, great fans, and there's multiple racetracks that we've had the opportunity to visit. So to be able, if I can win a race there this weekend, I think there's going to be I'm going to be ultimately the happiest, but I think there's going to be a lot of happy fans as well.
Appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Claire B. Lang. Go ahead with the question.
Well, thank you. What do you think your biggest obstacle will be, and how do you think that your talent will merge with, your massive talent will merge with the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series at this venue?
Well, I'm not sure what the biggest hurdle is going to be. I know that I'm not taking anything for granted. I know these trucks are hard to drive, and I know NASCAR has the best drivers in the country, if not even in the world. I really don't know what to expect. In previous times, I'd say, would you be nervous about it? No. I think my years of experience of racing up and down the road with the Outlaws and the different types of going to different racetracks and different dirts and all these things, and I think my background is better suited for these longer truck races like they are, whether they be or 50 laps. The way the dynamic of dirt racing changes, and that's kind of where I feel like we've excelled over the years, being able to win the championships and the races that we've won in the marquee events. Is the end of the race is such a different dynamic than the beginning of the race, that you have to have a mindset that can just get you past a certain, being competitive for a while, but then really being competitive when it comes time to get close to the checkered. So I think that's something that I'm really looking forward to. Until you do it, you don't exactly know what to expect, but I know that in working with the guys at David Gillen Racing that I have, they're all very optimistic and they're all very excited. So that gives me great pleasure in knowing that if they're as motivated as me, and I've not sat in the truck before and have turned any laps in it, that they have a lot of faith in me, and I can obviously have a lot of faith in them. So we're already past the hardest part of it.
You're a humble guy, and I don't know if you've recognized all the attention that this announcement got and how many fans were so excited about seeing this. And I don't know if that makes pressure for you, or if you noticed it, but people went crazy when this was announced.
Being able to race with the series that I do, being able to have this opportunity with NASCAR is, it's just a pleasure. It's not, this motorsports isn't something anybody's forced to do. We all do it because we love it. And yeah, it's crazy to think of the hype. I mean, my phone's been burning up for 24 hours. I'm hearing from people I haven't heard from in 20 years, and they're super excited. And even the fans that maybe aren't fans of mine, or they don't want to admit they're fans of mine, are, I think, going to have eyes on this event at Knoxville. I think it's huge. It's a huge marketing tool for NASCAR. It's a huge marketing tool for myself, for Knoxville, for the Camping World Truck Series. And we all know that that's what this sport is about. And that's what puts people in the seats. That's what we do every day. And, I'd like to think that we, in the sprint car world, we do everything. It's based on competition, and obviously that's what NASCAR is. But sometimes we lose our way on the entertainment side of things, and I really enjoy the competition side. And I know entertainment goes along with it, but in this is right here, I think this is just perfect. True hardcore competition. A dirt sprint car guy coming into NASCAR's premier series for dirt, and we're going to see what happens, but most importantly, we're going to have the most fun along the way. I can guarantee you that.
I love that. Thanks for your time. Okay. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Matt Weaver. Go ahead with the question, Matt.
Hey, Donnie, I got two for you. I'm curious, Kinzer dabbled in NASCAR a little bit. Sammy did. Grit Ravel started to a little bit last year. Was there ever a point in your career when you established yourself as a top sprint car guy where you were presented like a legitimate offer to do something different, whether it's NASCAR or your late model program, or were you just fully committed to sprint cars this entire time?
It's a great question, Matt. I was presented the opportunity, and back then it was late '90s, early 2000s. They called it an ABC program, ARCA Busch Cup, and I had the opportunity. I went and did the finish line racing school, and had the opportunity. We spoke about it. We talked about these things, and we got the ball rolling. And we were almost to that point where it was decision time for Donny. And I went and spent some time in Charlotte. And it wasn't me. As a kid, I grew up wanting to race sprint cars with the World of Outlaws. My heroes were Steve Kinzers and Sammy Swindells and Mark Kinzer, Dave Blaney. And, I'd seen Steve go down that path. Sammy tried to go down that path. After spending a little bit of time around it, it just wasn't it wasn't the right fit for me. It was nothing about the financial side of it. It was nothing about the competitive side of it. It's one of those things. I kind of felt like I was walking away from a dream that I always had. And I was racing with the World of Outlaws, but I wasn't as competitive as I wanted to be. And I knew if I was going to, I was going to have to change things and be a lot more focused and try to figure out a way to just be a contender every night, win championships, do all those things. And so I just kind of shut the door on it. It's not a decision I regret. I think there's been some incredible NASCAR guys that have come from our background. Obviously, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart. Could that have been me? We'll never know. I never asked myself that, but I think it was the right career path for me because at 43 years old, I still love what I do. I still love going to these races and the people I've met and the things that I've accomplished. I still don't feel like I'm fulfilled in that. I feel like there's more yet for me to be a part of. And I have the opportunity to go race with the World of Outlaws and be gone a couple days a week and be home 4 or 5 days. So I have probably the best balance of life that anybody in motorsports has. And you have to have that as well. So I feel like choosing the path to stay where I did and race with who I do is made me the person I am today. And I like that person.
Yeah. And to that point, you're a great example of a dirt star who has been able to make a great living running a full-time sprint car schedule. And there are some fans who maybe they just don't understand the kind of money you guys run for or the marketing opportunities running that schedule. But they say, well, you really haven't made it big unless you run NASCAR or IndyCar or something like that. How do you do what you've done at your level? How do you establish yourself as a guy who can make big money, market yourself, and be a star without doing it in NASCAR, IndyCar, or something like that?
You just do it one day at a time. It's no different. We're doing it the same way NASCAR guys do. I don't think there's any question that the footprint of NASCAR has changed over the years. I mean, you look at the icons of the sport that have stepped away from it, the Jeff Gordons, the Jimmy Johnsons, the Tony Stewarts, the Dale Juniors. I mean, those guys were obviously icons and they were personalities along the way. You can't make a personality. You can put someone in an environment and give them the tools, but you still can't just make someone who they want. I enjoy what I do. Would I love to race for more money? Yeah, I think that everybody would ultimately love to race for the money, but I think the little things that come along with it, take, for instance, you take a guy that dreamed about working on one of these cars, to see the look on their face when they win a Knoxville Nationals or a Kings Royal or win their first World of Outlaw show, that's something that you take great pride in. It's fun to see that. And there's crew guys up and down the pit area with what we do. Heck, I had the crew chief for Brad Sweet, who's won the last couple championships, and a good friend. They were over at my house last night, and you look at him and you feel a sense of pride because he was there along the way. He worked with you. he won his first nationals with us. So those things are what kind of build what we do daily, and we enjoy that probably more so than the money side of things. And when you drive for people like Tony Stewart, and you have the partners that we do like Sage Fruit, Mobile One, and Ford, that's Tony's deal. He's the one that's responsible for all that. We get to do what we love to do 85 plus times a year, and we have a lot of fun along the way. So I think that still to this day, doing what I do is by far better than doing what any NASCAR driver does. And I feel like it gets us in touch with more people at the end of the day.
Thanks, Donny.
Our next question is going to come from Marty Sakala. Go ahead with the question, Marty.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, Donny, thanks for the time, and congratulations on this big offer. I got two for you. First off, no question about it, does a 410 sprint car drive differently from a truck on the dirt? Any chance you're going to talk with maybe like Kyle Larson or Rico Abreu that have also driven 410s and have also slinged a truck around dirt for advice possibly for your prep?
Thank you, Marty. Yeah, I'm going to exhaust every avenue I have to try to figure out and have the most. I got a call from Todd Bodine yesterday, working with NASCAR on a few things, and obviously there's a lot of homework to be done here. But I think guys that can relate more to what I do on a daily basis, the Kenny Wallaces, the Kenny Schraders. Obviously, Kyle Larson is a once in a lifetime talent I don't know if Kyle Larson's ever going to tell anybody any secrets or try to assist in any way. So he may not be the right one, but there's plenty of people that they've already offered to help. And I think that that's going to be a great asset. And we'll do our best to, learn everything we can, whether it be watching video or, trying to get that feel. But ultimately it's none of that's going to matter until you actually get in the truck. And obviously that July 8th is going to give us a little opportunity for some practice. So I'm super excited about that. July 9th is going to be a big day for me.
Second, people have told me before that you've been booed a lot during Knoxville Nationals week for having a lot of wins there. Kind of curious this time driving the truck, you hopefully the reaction gets turned around when you're introduced to the crowd, hopefully get some cheers representing sprint car racing.
I'd be willing to bet that'll probably be the case. Getting booed is a good thing. It's not the most warm feeling in the world, but I know it happens. It comes with the territory. We've seen it in all forms of motorsports, so it's kind of a compliment. But I think that the opportunity, or what you're going to see from the fans at Knoxville, is going to be like that. It's myself and Brian Brown are really representing the sprint car community, and I think they're going to be behind us. Even other racers that that maybe you don't confer with on a regular basis. I think they want to see you represent themselves in the sport in the best possible manner, and it's good for everybody if that happens. So I'm not going to really speculate as to exactly how warm a welcome I'm going to get, but either way, I'm sure there'll be some sort of reaction.
Thank you, sir, and looking forward to seeing you next month at Ransomville.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Kelly Crandall. Go ahead with the question, Kelly.
Thank you. Hi, Donny. I'm curious, have you seen any of the truck races on dirt previously, maybe at Eldora, and what do you think the event at Knoxville will be like?
I have. I've actually watched a lot of the truck races from Eldora, and I've watched the races from Bristol. So it's obviously Knoxville is going to be a completely different dynamic. If you've never been to Knoxville, Knoxville is really flat. It's a really flat surface compared to what Bristol or Eldora is, and that's what makes it unique when we go there with the sprint cars. Is the track prep. They obviously have a great group of people there. How that's going to be, we can all speculate, but until you get there and feel it. But I think that just the completely different shape and the fact that there's very little banking at Knoxville is going to make it very, very tricky and very unique, especially for something as simple as tire wear and being able to make consistent laps for that long a race. It's going to make a different dynamic. That's drastically different than what you've seen at Bristol or Eldora.
And then just curious, what would be a good day for you? I'm sure everybody's going to have expectations for you, but what are your own expectations of what would be a good race weekend for you?
You know, I think it's impossible to set any expectations until we're able to get on the racetrack on July 8th and make some laps. If I'm able to adapt quickly and be competitive time-wise, and we're able to have some feedback and communication as to what I need to do to be able to make 100 laps with the change in surface and the changing, the tires wearing and all those things. I think it's really not accurate of me to be even say, yeah, I'm looking for a top 5 or looking for a top 10. It's just ultimately impossible to try to answer that until I physically see what it's like when you first get in it. It might just be something that you adapt to just incredibly quick and be right up there in the charts where you want to be, or it might be something that it's going to be a real struggle to get used to the braking and the steering and all the things that are different than what we're accustomed to. So I don't have any expectations. I think ultimately it's going to be having this great opportunity. You got to make the best of it. Ultimately in racing every day, we try to have the most amount of fun, and I'm going to have fun even if it's a bad day, but we definitely don't want it to be that way. So until I make some laps, it's hard for me to say.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Nate Ryan. Go ahead with the question, Nate.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, Donny, the trucks have a pretty good 8-year track record on the dirt going back to Eldora. That was pretty well received. And of course, then moving to Bristol this year. But as you probably know, the Cup cars tried dirt with Bristol this year. We know they're coming back next year. I'm just curious, did you have a chance to watch the Cup cars at Bristol on the dirt, and what your evaluation of it was?
Well, I did. I didn't get to watch the entire race, but obviously as a dirt guy, we pull for dirt guys. It's just the nature of the beast. We were pulling for Christopher and Kyle, and I think when both of them ended up in crashes early, we gave up on it. That we're not friends of others, but I think sometimes our attention span in dirt racing really isn't long enough to sit there and watch 3.5 hours of a race. So we watch tidbits and we watch certain people until a certain point, and then you do something a little bit different. And we were obviously going to Bristol right after those events, so we wanted to know what we were up against with track conditions and what it looked like. But yeah, it was really neat to see NASCAR go way outside of their box and take the Cup cars to dirt. I fully expected to see a dirt guy win it, but that didn't happen. And so it was really kind of unique to see that the way it went. And I think the winner probably had that ultimate feeling that they'd really done something huge in the sport because they're not a dirt driver. So it was neat to see that dynamic.
And you mentioned all the attention and the scrutiny and focus on Knoxville with the trucks coming. Looking back at those Bristol events and looking forward at Knoxville, like how important is it for the trucks to put on a good show? And is there anything you noticed maybe during the course of that NASCAR weekend at Bristol, or just in general with NASCAR on dirt, that you might suggest or think they can try at Knoxville to ensure it's a good show?
Well, I'm a driver for a reason. I'm not a promoter, and I don't involve with the series, but I think it's a really smart thing for NASCAR to do. I mean, there's a lot of dirt fans out there that they're getting in touch with. I mean, what Kyle did last year, I think, put every dirt track fan in the country, winning all the races he did, spending the whole year racing on dirt. He's bringing those fans to NASCAR races, and so with NASCAR having certain events on dirt, I think is a huge opportunity for them. It opens doors for guys like myself to want to be a part of their series and want to do the things with them. I don't have any aspirations of racing on pavement. So these certain little things, obviously every series is trying to build up their fan base and try to grow it. And so to me, it's a perfect opportunity for them and to get in touch with new people and broaden their horizons and go to different places and see how different series form and function. And it's really, I think it's ultra smart on their part, and they got their reputation and their credibility for that very reason.
Great. Thanks, Donny.
You're welcome.
Our final question is going to be a follow-up from Lee Spencer. Go ahead with the question, Lee.
Thank you. And thanks again, Donnie. Just to kind of follow up on that, do you think the pandemic just kind of opened the eyes of so many people who were searching for, any kind of sporting activity to come to World of Outlaws, to come to the All-Stars, to come to USAC and just kind of build a bigger symbiotic relationship between, just stock cars, dirt, and just racing as a whole?
Well, I think those people always had that need, but I think the pandemic definitely put us in a position where it was a reason for people to go out. We were only down for a short period of time, and when we went back racing, yeah, we had strict guidelines, but I think the fact that you don't realize how much you really love something until you don't have that thing in front of you to love every day. And when we got shut down, you didn't know, are we ever going to race again? Are we, are our sponsors going to go away? Are we not going to have this ability anymore? So you start to ask yourself all these questions that you don't really want to have to answer. And then when you get back on, it makes you really appreciate every opportunity, every person that you meet, every partner you come across, and you make the best of it. I think it was really a big reset for a lot of people in the dirt world, whether you were a team owner or a driver or you operated a track. We all get complacent sometimes because we get too used to this. I can relate it to taking chemo. For a family member, your body gets so used to it that you have to reset after a period of time. And I think the dirt world really used COVID as a hard reset. And now everything's going back gangbusters, thankfully. So best of it. And while we get them opportunities in front of us that present themselves, we need to pick up the ball and make sure we run with it as hard and as far as we can.
But do you see the relationship between stock cars, NASCAR and dirt never having been closer in the 25 years you've been associated with World of Outlaws?
Absolutely. It's incredible. I mean, you can take and look at Tony Stewart and Casey Kane, who have owned teams for a long period of time. That's one thing. But now to see NASCAR opening their eyes to doing these events at Eldora and Bristol and all these other things, I've never seen it closer in my time, but that, maybe a long time ago, 50 years ago, they probably had a really close relationship, but it all kind of got down that pavement path. So I think it's a great fit. It helps us. It helps us grow. And if we can help them grow and we all grow together, it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Thank you so much and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, Donnie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us, and we look forward to seeing you there at Knoxville. And good luck on all of your racing endeavors as we go through the summer.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, take care.
See ya.